is one of those crazy days where I feel like we just ended the night flight a couple of minutes ago. I swear, it's just like, you ever have that feeling, Tony, where I had so much fun last night and then I stayed up. I did watch some Three's Company. It was very rewarding. I hope some of you joined me on the IFC channel. And it basically just crashed, woke up, had some coffee, and then bam, we're right back here. As Bob Weir would say in Born Cross-Eyed, feels like I've been here before. Anyway, welcome back to PMP. Great to be here on a Thursday. Beautiful day in the Bay Area. I think it's going to cool off just a little bit, which is good, Tony, because I want to get my ass out and do a little hike after the show today. And I know you've got important things on the calendar, too. How you feeling today, T?
Good, dude. First of all, U2's Beautiful Day. Thumb up or thumb down?
I go two thumbs up on that one. I think that's like their last great record, the All That You Can't Leave Behind or whatever. I love Beautiful Day. How about yourself?
Me too. How to assemble an atomic bomb is that what the name of the album?
That's a good one too. That's a good record too. Yeah, they've been kind of missing the mark, I think, after that. We'll talk about this on our U2 roundtable, bro. By the way, with our Hum Daddies, and that's coming up pretty soon. We're gonna do like a 1 hour discussion on U2, and Ted Ramey's joining us as well, Tony.
Hell yeah, dude. Go Ramey and go Quakes. Quakes are back in action. We got to get Ramey.
They want you on the YouTube they want you on that discussion because they want your YouTube pop takes. They do. I don't know if they reached out to you, but they want you on that roundtable. So you've been warned.
I'll bring pop and I'll rep pop all damn day, but I also want to just give love to the Edge. The riff on Beautiful Day is really good, man.
Yeah.
So but when they started like just putting albums on my phone, I was like, okay, or putting albums into my iTunes or my Apple Music. I'm like,
I think they meant well, because they're like, hey, here's a free record for you guys. Here, take it. It's free. And everyone got pissed. They're like, whoa, how dare you? You know what I mean? So like, they were trying to be cool, and then they got clobbered for it, man. They got crushed. So it's tough. Yeah.
Good point. Fair point. I'll take that. I'm not free music is like the whole like situation that we live in now, where because we're talking to Shannon Kaler and the Stone Foxes about this, about how music being played on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you stream your music, and they don't get anything for it.
Well, they get like 7 cents or something between 5 people. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah,
it's nuts. And so that's why Paulie and I know I speak for you, Paulie, that go to your local record store. Buy the albums, buy the records, or pay for the downloads online, and just make sure the money goes back to the band. Because I'll tell you right now, Spotify is very convenient, Apple Music very convenient, and I use it. We all use it, but they don't really kick down to the old bumper sticker in Fish Lots and Dead Lots. Kick down so I can get down. They don't kick down for the get down. Basically.
Who's got my Friday for a Saturday? You know what I'm saying, Tony? Who's got my Friday for a Saturday? Come on, man. Yeah.
Just walking around with a finger in the air.
Have you ever thrown the finger up? Have you ever been in that position?
You know what, Paulie? No, but I will say that there have been times where it's gotten that close to showtime where I'm like, I might have to start throwing the finger in the air.
Yeah.
But then just knock on wood, it's always worked out. It's wacky. And I know you can relate, man. If you want to get into a show bad enough, you'll get in. It's how hard will you try? How hard will you do? And not just for music. I'm talking for sports too. If you want in, you can get in, right?
Correct.
And this is for Rags. I just saw Rags on the chat. He says he wants a wow.
Yeah, it's a wow Thursday. Bro, the first time you did that, I was like, wow, he's making obscene gestures on the air. But then he explained it was something his kids are doing. Yeah, that's how they spell out the word wow. All right, anyway, welcome back to PMP. Great to see everybody. Noemi, John Joseph, Don Peralta, Corinne, Rags, Pine Needle. You know how it is, man. It's great to see everybody lining up today. We are also very happy to be broadcasting and streaming out there on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody on Instagram. Of course, our good friends on Twitter and X. And then our new home, Cron 4, man. Great to be part of the Cron 4 family, and streaming live on the Cron 4 Plus app. You can stream for free on your smart TV. We're talking Apple TV, we're talking Roku, etc. And new episodes streaming every night at 11:30. And as Tony kind of hinted last night, as we were kind of on the way out of the show, leaving, at the side door, and Tony was like, "Oh, by the way, we're working on new developments with Kron," which we are. We got something pretty crazy going on right now with them. It's good. It's very good. And with Tony, within the next week or two, we'll be able to announce that to the audience what the next step of this whole thing is going to be. But it's going to be cool. We're very excited about this. So, just thought to tease a little bit, Tony, a little teaser.
Well, in this whole visual land, they want that we have to do around. We'd have to do some testing. There's testing that's involved, Paulie.
A lot of testing. There's always testing going on, dude. Shout out to bro. Shout out to Steve at Kron 4. He's Mr. He's testing right now. He's testing somewhere. I guarantee it.
Steve and Art were in my home 2 days ago, scoping out the house. But also, Paulie, I want to give love to Art, the longtime cameraman for Kron. He was telling me stories. He's like the Mike Zagaris of cameramen, because his stories that he was telling me about being in Candlestick and being at Oakland Coliseum and being, at the Cow Palace and being at all these different places and recording all these different gigs and games. I'm like, dude, we need to get you on the show. So I want to get at some point Art, the cameraman from Kron, to tell stories about all the different people he's worked with. And he was talking about Gary's sports final show, and I was saying, you know what? We should get Gary back involved now that we're Kron colleagues of Gary's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think he looks at us as like plankton. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, Paulie and Tony, it's cute what they're doing over there. It's cute. No, they're running around at Kron now. It's really cute. I don't think he would see us as peers, because part of Gary's thing is just demolishing everybody in his path. Even if he likes you, he's still going to steamroll your ass. Bro, he hazed Murph and I for years, bro, for freaking years. We used to do that the face-off, like we'd be leaving, he'd be coming in, and Murph would get all stressed. We go, like, here we go. Like, he'd walk into the studio at like 9:50, and we do like this crossover segment where we're talking to, hey, Gary, what do you have coming up today? But it would never even go there, because he'd be like, nah, sing me another song, Paulie Mac. I love it. Nah, it's cute. It's cute. You know what I mean? So he would just come in and piss all over everything we were doing. But it was all, you know what? I got to be honest, though. I never took that personally, because behind the scenes and off the air, Gary was always super cool to me. And that is the truth. Like, he was always really cool, regardless of where our show was or how we were doing. We did wind up doing really well. The Murph and Mac show was very successful for a long time. But when we got started, dude, we didn't know what was going to happen. We could have gotten fired every day. Like, I'd walk into Murph today and I'd be like, bro, this could be our last show today, so let's have a good one. You know what I mean? And then when we finally got established, we realized, okay, we got some job security. We got contracts. We're good. But Gary was always breaking balls. But back to your original point, I love that. I would love to have Gary on this show. I would love to talk to Gary about his career, but I don't know that he's down, dude. I mean, I haven't seen him in a very, very long time, and I think he is. My guess is that he's kind of intentionally keeping a low profile. I don't know that for sure, but I don't know if he's been seen or if he surfaces. I don't know. I get the feeling like he's kind of done with it. I don't know.
To credit Gary, he worked 2 different jobs at the same time. He did the TV and radio together, and he was working like crazy days, where he would go do the radio show and then go do TV at night, like do sportscasts at night, all after or evening and night. So he worked his tail off for years. He's probably just riding into the sunset and just chilling. He's probably like, God, this is great having all this rest. I mean, and you're right, Paulie, about the word cute. The way he used the word cute was
cute. Yeah. He was just like, no matter what you accomplish. Hey, Gary, I just won the Nobel Prize for literature. Nah, it's cute. Paulie's got his Nobel Prize. It's cute. You know what I mean? It didn't matter what you actually did. He would still destroy it. Yeah. Yeah.
He was the best, man. Gary's the best. Gary, would love to get you on the show. I'll have to reach out and even just to say hello. You know,
I would think, what would be really good for the Bay Area, man, for me, because I think there's this thing going on now, like with media, where like once you hit a certain age, they think like, okay, well, that guy, he's not relevant anymore. I totally disagree with that. Yeah, sure, Gary's a little older, but who cares? Like, I think it would be a great move to put Gary back on the air, like on regular terrestrial radio. Give him like a 2-hour show by himself. Let Gary be Gary. He doesn't have to deal with any co-hosts. I think that's when it started going sideways, when they started pairing him with all these people. And that's no shade on anybody that worked with him, but he's just one of those guys, like, he doesn't need a partner. I always felt that way about Tolbert, too. I always felt like, let Tom Tolbert just be Tom Tolbert. give Tom like some room to maneuver. Yeah, he can work with guests and stuff and co-host, but I always felt like Tom was better alone. I always felt like Gary was better alone. I don't know. It's just me. You feel me on that though, Tony? Gary was like a singular presence kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And he loved to have the space too, to be free to do whatever he wanted to do. And if he needed somebody to rap with, that's how he would bring in Kate Scott, or that's how we would bring in like a sidekick every now and again. I worked the morning show with Gary for, it was like a little under a year. And he was not a morning guy, because again, he was doing the nights at Cron. So he was like coming in and doing the morning show. It was tough. So, I mean, if there was back in the day doing your show from home, he would have done that as well, because he coming in and back in those days, the morning show started at 5 a.m.
Bro, when Murph and I started, we used to start at 5:30. It was pretty rough, dude, because that meant the clock was going off at like 3:45, dude. That sucked. I didn't realize we were going to do like a Gary tribute, but I actually thought of two other things I actually want to talk about real quick since we're on this topic, and then we'll get into the show. We'll talk a little Thursday Night Football. I do want to talk Giants at LA, because this is it. See, like if they can't figure this out right now, the season's over. And I wonder how Giant fans are with that. Are you guys content with this season, step in the right direction? Did they underachieve, overachieve? I do want to talk about that. I want to set up tomorrow's musical assignment. I want to remind everybody we got the hot and sour picks coming. But before we go there, sorry, what do you got?
We're going to do a Tony's top 3 today too, Paulie. We got to give the people what they want. I'm joking, of course. I'm riffing, but we haven't done a top 3 all week, and I think Thursdays are good for a top 3 after the night flight. It's kind of a good setup for the weekend, a setup for Thursday night football, and to be honest with you, we're always like you said, not gassed. Gas is the wrong word, but like when you have such a great time. You're riding that wave of like.
It takes a while to decompress. It does. It takes a while to calm down. At least for me, like on a Wednesday night show, dude, it takes me a while to calm down because we're revving so high, having a good time.
I refer to the night flight like Monster Park, a fun place to be, right? So
right.
That's basically, so just coming down off that high and then doing the show again and seeing everybody on the chat. Thank you for joining us. I look forward to today's show and tomorrow's show, the hot and sour picks tomorrow. But I want to talk a little Thursday night football today, Paulie, and do a top 3 as well. So we'll do that later on the show. But commence forth as you were.
Oh, very nice. Commencing, dude. Commencing, sir. Sir, yes, sir. And by the way, real quick, Lily Merchant, I saw your comment about the Valkyries. Yes, it was disappointing that the season came to an end, Lily. But Karen Bell, Giants baseball, fun. Totally. Yeah. That was Chris Russo, the Mad Dog. Giants baseball, fun with the pause. Lily, you know what though? I'm looking at the Valkyrie season like an accomplishment though, because it was they're an expansion team. They packed Chase Center every night, and they were the first expansion team to ever make the playoffs. So yeah, it was disappointing it came to an end, but on the other side of that coin, they overachieved this year. So great start. I can't wait to get out there next year. I want to go catch some of their games. All right, so back to G-Rad for a sec. So two things. Because when you mentioned Gary, like throwing it to Kate Scott, I remembered in my head that he used to introduce her as, now we're going to go to the great KT Scott. He used to say KT Scott, her middle name. And Gary always had a knack for doing stuff like that, which reminded me of a story, like with catchphrases and everything. One time we were in Tony Salvador's office, our boss. I miss him and I love him. And it was Murph and I, and we're sitting there, and he was always talking about Gary. And he was like, you know what Gary did one time? He goes, we came up with this new slogan, KNBR, the sports leader, right? The sports leader. And he goes, but Gary came in and said, the sports leader, not the sports leader. He said the sports leader. You want to know where that came from? Gary Radnich. He was like, I'm like, yeah, man. So anyway, Gary was actually the guy behind the sports leader. That was Gary's kind of creation, believe it or not. And on top of that, you need to tell the story. This is going to be the greatest. This is one of the best KNBR stories of all freaking time. And I was only loosely involved in this one, but I'm going to hand it over to you, and I'm going to let you run with this. So in the early 2000s, Tony and I were, as usual, they separated us. Tony, you stay on KNBR. Paulie Mac, get your ass over to KSAN. You're doing classic rock now. And I'm like, yeah, that was cool with me. I was fine doing classic rock at the Bone. I loved it, actually. I really did. I loved it. I loved working with Lamont and Tonelli and Stephen Seaweed and Billy Steele. Rest in peace. I hate saying that, but rest in peace. And so when I was over at 107.7 The Bone, the morning show with Brian Murphy had just started, like around 2005.
Yeah.
He had a different partner that first year, Tim Liotta. So Tim Liotta and Brian Murphy are trying to start this. I came in 2006. They took me off the bus. You're going back to KNBR now. The name of the show is going to be Murph and Mac. So before that happened, Tony was producing the morning. And by the way, you ever notice how as soon as I come back to KNBR, Tony, you're off the morning show? You know what I mean? Again, like always separating us like two punk kids in a classroom. But they sent Liotta and Murphy and Tony to Vegas, okay, for like some kind of fight or something, like a boxing match or something like that. All hell broke loose with the broadcast. They were supposed to broadcast live. And then Tony came back and it was like a nuclear bomb went off. He was so pissed. And Gary was involved. And because they had to bring Gary in because you guys couldn't get the broadcast going, I'm going to let you take over. Go ahead, T.
I'm not an engineer. Let's put it that way. And we
Did
were
they not send an engineer out there?
Paulie, I got to be honest with you, dude.
Great. You got to have it. Honestly, just so you guys know, you can't do a remote broadcast without an engineer. If they left you in charge of that.
And dude, I have PTSD about that to the part where I don't remember everything that happened because I was
I didn't mean to bring up a sore spot. No. I didn't mean to bring up because I think it's a funny story now looking back to it. Yeah.
And Gary was not happy at all because they had to call him into the morning and come in and do this. And I mean,
and I'm like an 11:30 sportscast, and I had to wake him up at like 4 a.m. Gary, we need you to come in and do the morning show, and he did.
Oh my god! And we couldn't get the broadcast going from Vegas, and Tim Liotta, great human being, great dude
guy.
Who
loved him,
but when things didn't go as planned, it was spirited, let's just say. But to be honest with you, Paulie, I don't remember exactly what happened because I think Pecan was there too.
That sounds right. I think that sounds right because he was like your assistant producer or something like that, right? At that time.
Yeah. Gosh, man, you're going back in time right now. Holy moly! Because that was right before I got canned. Because then
for the first time.
For the first time.
Yeah, you got to go in and out a few times. I did the same thing. Yeah.
And by the way, you bring up the fact about you and I, Paulie and I used to joke around that people were afraid of the two of us together on the air. Like
there's no question. No, there's no question about it. There's no like I'm thinking that wasn't a theory. That was a fact. I don't care who it was. You got to keep these two guys apart. They think it's one big playpen over there. You know what I mean? It's like, hey man, I'm doing a show. I'm trying to entertain people. Yeah, but a little too much entertainment, maybe. You know what I mean? Like it was always tough, and that's why it was always tough. That's why I'm so happy to be with Tony now. We've been wanting to work together for freaking 30 years, man. Yeah.
And also my Salvador is not as good as yours, but I'll never forget when he goes, "You guys, you're meant for FM. Yeah. You're just meant for FM. You're not working on AM. You're just not working on AM. This is sports talk. Where's the sports? I hear music. I hear pop culture. I hear food. And then he would go off about other things we talked about that we can't mention right now. And then he said, "You guys are meant for FM." And so that was the day that he let us go. Basically.
Yeah, but the thing is, Tony, God bless him, because he always he saw something in us. You know what I mean? Like he did, even though he didn't know how to utilize us in those earlier days, he saw something in us. He was like, "There's something there with these guys. We just got to find the right roles for everybody," and he did eventually. But yeah, so Tony, Murph, Liotta, and Pecan go to Vegas. Who was fight? What was the fight? Who was fight? What was the mat? Like who were the boxers? I don't even remember.
Don't even remember.
Pacquiao? Was that a freaking Pacquiao fight? Is that possible?
It might have been Pacquiao. I went to Vegas with Tolbert to see Trinidad Vargas, which was an incredible sporting event, but I don't even remember what the fight was for Vegas with Murph and Liotta, dude. God.
Well, these guys are in Vegas. They're supposed to do a live show from the casino, but they can't get the remote hooked up. And Salvador went effing nuts, dude. He was so pissed. And then you guys came back, and I'll never forget this. He was like, because he was walking around and he was like, "I'm gonna get a new morning show. I'm gonna find a new morning show." And then he said at one point, he actually said this when you guys couldn't get on the air. He goes, quote, "This is the darkest day in the history of KNBR, the darkest." But that's how seriously, dude, they weren't effing around back then, bro. They were not effing around. And any blemish like that, Tony was not having it, dude. He was not having it. He was fair, But if you went outside the lines, man, he would undress your ass. And he did. You want to talk about, I mean, one time, dude, I'll never forget this. Last Tony story, I promise. We were this is in our old building on Hawthorne, and the kitchen was probably, I'd say, about 40 to 45 yards away from Tony Salvador's office. Right, Tony? The kitchen down to Tony's office in the corner, about 40 yards. Pretty good distance. It was a big office back then when the industry was booming. One time, dude, we did I don't even know what I did this. I don't even remember, but he was yelling so loud. I was in the kitchen. I was like, oh man, what the hell is this about? And he's like, Paulie, get down here. And I had to like walk down the hall, and I'm like, oh shit, what did I don't even know what I did. And I remember when I walked into the office, he goes, do you know why you're here? And I was like, I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Well, you should know why you're here. Anyway, I love you, Tony, if you're watching. God bless you. I love you too, Gary. Love you too. All right. That was a long, rambling remembrance, but we go down memory lane sometime, Tony. We got a lot of stories to share. Why not, right?
I'm going to keep it going for 1 sec. I got a couple of images to show. So if you want to see a picture of Tony Salvador, if you're wondering what he looks like, there's Tony Salvador when he got nominated for the Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame. And if you can say, let me if I can get that a little bit larger. Can I?
Dude, is that freaking Agnew up there too? I want to see the whole family album. Give me some Agnew. Yeah.
That's okay. Hang on 1 second. Let me
take your time. Do what you got to do, man.
Because I forget that it.
Do you know why you're here? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I think so. I don't know.
So there you go.
There's yeah.
Right. So there's Tony, and if you can imagine that voice, because Paulie, your voice is pretty close to Tony Salvador's. And then if we've talked about Bob Agnew in the past, so I'll give some Bob Agnew love here because it's worth showing everybody.
Bob Agnew, he was a great PD. He predated Lee Hammer, and he kind of ran the station when like Ralph and Tom, Bob Fitzgerald and Pete Franklin, like those late 90s, early 2000s. Bob was great, dude. Bob was a big time PD, man. He was like a big time, show busy, splashy, big personality. I always liked Bob because Bob he was a hard. And by the way, what do you give me for on Bob Agnew? Let me share it with the masses real quick. And I've been saying this for years. Bob Agnew, what do you give me for? NHL Hall of Fame coach Scotty Bowman. I'm telling you, it's a 10. It's a freaking 10. Scotty Bowman's a pretty famous coach in the NHL. He looks a lot like Bob Agnew. But Bob Agnew, look at him, dude. He was a bulldog. You know what I mean? He'd come running down. Great thing about Bob, he would yell at you, but you could yell back. He'd let you kind of spar with him without getting too upset and like, hey, you can't talk to me like that. He would let you air it out with him, and we did. And I know you did too. You had some battles with Agnew, man.
We did. And I'll just show, just because you mentioned it, Paulie, why not give a compare contrast? Here's Scotty Bowman. If it's going to pop up, let me see. There he is. And there's a side shot right there. See that side shot?
Yeah, you feel me? It's like, same ballpark, same kind of ballpark. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And there's many moments where we got called into the conference room with the dry erase board, and when Agnew brought out the dry erase board and the Sharpie, it wasn't a good scene. It wasn't a good scene.
No, this is what last one. Me, Creative Tony, and someone's name who I won't mention that might be the engineer of Giant Radio Broadcast now, but I won't say his name. But Tony, myself, and this other unnamed engineer of Giant Baseball, unnamed person, was sitting in Lee Hammer's office one day after one of our shows. And he goes, this is when we were on the ticket. And because we were talking about, we were talking about burning Jays on the air or something like that, which back then, dude, not a lot of people were doing. We were at the forefront of that movement, man. And we go into Hammer's office. He's like, guys, listen. He goes, you keep talking about smoking pot. You're talking about smoking pot, and you're playing pot sound bites. And then he goes like this. Lee Hammer said, plus, let's be real, guys. When was the last time any of you smoked pot? And like we all looked at each other and we're like, well, geez, I don't know, man. I don't know. What was it, DC last night? You know what I mean? Like, so a lot of good memories. Oh, look at Isabel is that Tolbert, bro? Look at the young Tom Tolbert.
Yeah, look at Tolbert. So this is if you scroll on this article, this is the article. If you look at the headline, look at this. KNBR makes the call. Kruger is fired. Program director and morning show producer also let go. I was the morning show producer. Program director was Bob Agnew, and Kruger is the one that got fired. So, and this is the pic. I just wanted to show this picture. I didn't even realize that it was for the article of when I got canned, or when we got canned. But that was like how Agnew ran the conference room, just pointing and dry erase boards and just calling people out. And that was him and his
a lot of yelling. Yeah.
And you're right. And that's a younger Tolbert, man. That is 2005. Yeah, that's 20 years ago. 20 years ago. So
Tolbert looks like a kid. He really does. He looks like a young kid right there, man. That was fun. I enjoyed that KNBR memory lane segment. That was cool. We could do that all day, bro. We could do like a greatest hits from our escapades down there. Sometime I'll have to tell the story about the time when I was taking some of the artwork off the walls and hiding them in Creatives Tony's studio, and then I got called. Anyway, that's a whole other story for another time. Tony, why don't we
time out. I just want to say, for creative people like Paulie and myself who love the Fillmore style posters, who have many framed music posters in our homes, my studio was decked out with all kinds of memorabilia that I had or people had given me or people that came into the studio and would leave. And then all of a sudden there's an email that comes out from corporate that says nothing is allowed to be hung on any walls. Do you remember that, dude?
That was the beginning of the end. It really was. When that kind of stuff started happening, I'm like, well, this is it. It's not going to, they're going to sterilize the whole thing. That was when the new management group came in. That was the beginning of the end. Yeah.
I was like, wait a second. We're in radio. Nobody's coming in.
And by the way, Tony's not talking about the on-air studio. He's not talking about what people could see on the stream. Tony's talking about like his production studio where nobody would ever see. They made him take all his artwork down. It was insane.
I was like, this is insanity. I was like, you're literally telling. Anyway, so that, like you said, Paulie, that was
the freaking Soviet Union or something. And then, by the way, we defied it. Like within 3 days, we put everything back up on the walls. We're like, you know what? F this, dude. I'm putting my stuff back up. Yeah.
For instance, I had a huge Tony Soprano framed poster from Paulie. I had the Rice and Ronnie box, which was like Jerry Rice and Ronnie Lott, but it was like
seen on the first ever episodes of PMP. That Rice and Ronnie box was part of your first original backdrop. You did have that. Can
you give me 1 sec?
Yeah. If you're with us for a long time, you might remember this, Tony. And this was in Tony's studio, KNBR too. It's like it looks like a giant cereal box. And instead of Rice or Roni, it says Rice and Ronnie. And he had that in his studio at KNBR. And then he also used it as his backdrop on this show for like the first few episodes. Dami, I see you, bro. This date in KNBR history. We could do that. I don't think they're going to be too psyched about this. Me talking about all the secret ingredients and all the stuff that went on back in the day, but I don't really care anymore. You know what I mean? And if they do care, they should let go. It doesn't matter anymore. We're just talking. And you know, there are a lot of stories to tell. Hold on. What do you got? Do you get the box, D? All right, hold on.
All right, here we go. So, okay. So this thing was a promotion from Nike, and DC Darren Chan is the one who gave me this, and it says Rice and Ronnie, and they both signed it when they came into my studio to do commercials, right? But the best part is that, like, instead of the Quaker Oats, dude, it's Eddie DeBarlo in the corner. See that? See Eddie D in the corner?
That's a good touch. Good detail. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, like, on the side, it says like the ingredients, like what Ronnie Lott's dimensions are instead of the ingredients. And then on the back, it says like directions. Like, I'll read like directions for Jerry Rice. Set Rice wide on line of scrimmage. Number 2, place Rice in boiling defense. Number 3, combine ball with Rice. Number 4, shake off tackles. Number 5, cook for 4.4 seconds or until touchdown. And then 6, let opponent simmer. Dude.
That's good, man. But anyway, that got confiscated by the Soviet Union regime that took over KNBR, much to the displeasure of Tony and myself. But anyway, that was part of the original early PMP days, the Rice and Ronnie box. And I saw NorCal Refrigeration. He remembered that. He goes, yep, we had the Rice and Ronnie box, and show 1 gave us the birth of the Hans Lufa the song. In fact, can I get a couple of bars? You got that? Let's go Hans Lufa, and then I want to give some lows to Carlos De La Fuente and Flex Funding. So let's go Hans Lufa jam into Los D. Go ahead, buddy.
Hans Lufa. Hans Lufa. Sometimes he's got a stick, he'll get your back. Sometimes he's in your hand, and that's the facts. He might go low, and that's okay. Hans Lufa all day. He's got a special power. He'll scrub you in the shower. Exfoliate. Hans Lufa.
Come on.
I love the reggae vibe. I love the upstrokes, man. There you go. So a little Hans Lufa jam for your heads today. And that all came from show one. And don't forget, but we're getting closer and closer to the first annual PMP year-end awards show. And someone is going to win the Hans Lufa trophy at the end of this year, which goes to like a VIP in the Polymac particle community. There will be a Hans Lufa trophy and award given away to wrap the year up. Yeah, the PMPs, Dom, exactly. The PMPs, buddy. Well said.
Yeah, the PMPs for sure. And I just had an idea, Paulie, that I feel like we should add certain music that we make or that is made to the PMP playlist.
Sure. Oh, like the a Night Flight song. You mean all of our? Yeah, we'll throw them all in the pile. Absolutely, and then we'll let everybody vote. That's what we'll do. We'll create a ballot. Excuse me. We'll post a ballot on somewhere online, social media, something like that. Tommy will set that up, and then you guys all vote, and we'll hand out the awards fair and square. Speaking of fair and square, you know who's fair and square? 30 minutes into the show, Jesus H. Bro, we were supposed to do this like in the first 10 minutes. Sorry, Lusty. Let's talk Carlos De La Fuente and Flex Funding. In fact, you know what I want to do, Tony? I saw Carlos post something a couple of days ago, and I actually want to read from his Twitter post because he wrote some interesting stuff down. And I know you've said this on the show before, but let me just bring this to the show. So Carlos De La Fuente, Flex Funding, mortgage broker, money lender, awesome dude, San Francisco native, you know what I mean? 26 years of experience in the business. He is the kind of guy you're going to want to work with. In fact, I saw Corinne, Tony, the lovely Corinne from Fairfax. She said, I'm calling Los D right after the show today. And I was actually really glad to see that, Corinne, because you're in good hands with Carlos, as you know. We all hung out together a couple of weeks ago at the Giants game. So check this out. Los D posted this. I'm just going to read from the book of Los D right now, from a reading from the book of Carlos. He says, is your home equity just sitting there? Well, if it is, put it to work if needed on a lower interest rate that is available, or if you're a senior, a possible reverse mortgage with no payments for life. Think about that for a second. That sounds pretty appealing to me. As a matter of fact, no payments for life, reverse mortgage, sign my ass up. Anyway, that's just another idea from Carlos. He's always looking to give you like an advantage or some avenue you could take to get into a better financial reality. And if you're interested in a private money loan, talk to Carlos. If you're interested in a reverse mortgage or just having a conversation, a dialogue about that, talk to him. Or if you want to try talking to him about his HELOC loans, which are one of his specialties, home equity lines of credit. He specializes in that. So he can definitely give you a hand there too. Give him a shout, 925-250-4894. It's right in front of you if you're watching. If you're not, let me read it to you. Carlos at myflexnow.com. He can service all of your financial questions and needs or whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Maybe you're just trying to put some money away for retirement and trying to let that money grow, all that kind of stuff he can help you with, Tony. So Carlos is our main man. We love him very much, and you will too. Seriously, have that conversation with him, start the dialogue, and let Carlos go to work for you and get you in a better financial reality, T.
Yeah, totally, Paulie. Hashtag one-stop shop, Carlos De La Fuente. You want Alt-A loans. You want reverse mortgages. You want HELOCs. You want just need cash now. You want a DSCR loan, which is an investment property purchase or refinance that uses the property cash flow, not personal income, to qualify. All of these and more are for Los. And yes, he born and raised in the Bay Area, knows the Bay Area, but he's also knows the greater area of the state of California and beyond. He can go in-state, out-of-state. And Paulie, lastly, I want to read. We talk about Carlos all the time, how much we love him, but I want to give some reviews. I want to read a couple of reviews about Carlos De La Fuente, because it's not just us that love Los. It's the people that have worked with Los that we don't even know these people, but this is online reviews online. Okay. Right. So this is from a woman named Lauren, and this is just from May of this year. She says, huge shout out to Carlos De La Fuente at Flex Funding. Going through a divorce is stressful enough, but Carlos made the process of securing a loan to keep my home feel smooth and manageable. From start to finish, he was incredibly supportive, knowledgeable, and always one step ahead. His team was on top of everything, keeping the process moving and making sure I was informed every step of the way. Carlos went above and beyond to explain things clearly and worked hard to make sure I felt confident and taken care of. If you're looking for someone who truly cares and will guide you through the tough stuff with professionalism and heart, Carlos is your guy. Dude, I got to say, when somebody, not everybody gives a review, you know what I'm saying, Paulie? And when somebody gives a heartfelt and lengthy review like that, you know that Carlos made a good decision. And
Sorry, Tony. Normally I wouldn't do that in the middle of a Los D spot, but we have a rare situation where we have a super from Corinne that you can actually incorporate into the Carlos spot. So let's bring Corinne up real quick. As she is a little testimonial here from Corinne. I've been working with Los D for a few weeks now. I didn't realize you guys had already started, Corinne. That's awesome. He and his staff are the best. See, thank you, Corinne, very much. It just kind of fortifies what you were just saying, Tony. I didn't mean to interrupt your flow, but I thought it'd be good to get her up in the mix since she is now in the works with Los D.
No question. Corinne, thank you for the super. And also, Corinne, you're spot on about Los D. And I got your pictures from New Orleans, and we will share those on the show before the weekend because they're great shots. Dude, we had Corinne and her family doing PMP guerrilla marketing in New Orleans for us over last weekend. So I'm going to share those. And also probably just a couple more. We got Darcy, who says, Carlos helped us get a second mortgage on our investment property. He used a new company and process. It was fast, easy, and painless. We paid nothing up front and didn't even have to do an appraisal. We highly recommend this to anyone looking for similar funding and extremely recommend Carlos for anyone looking for help getting funding. Carlos has helped us many times in the past, and he has fostered a friendly relationship with us to bring us back again and again. And lastly, Paulie, from Nancy, she says, working with Carlos De La Fuente doesn't feel like work. How about that, dude? Working with Carlos does not feel like work. She says, you want help securing a loan, carrying the mental and emotional weight of all you expect lies ahead. You approach Carlos. After he gets to know you and accesses your needs, he reaches out and takes the weight off of you and lets you know he's got this in an organized and timely fashion. You can trust him. Dude, the final line of review. You can trust him completely. That's it. That's it. Done. In a nutshell. Right there.
That's all. Done. We're out. Yeah. We're shut it down. Thank you, Tony. That was good, and I appreciate that. And I think the reviews do speak pretty loudly. So hook up with Carlos, let him go to work for you, and you can thank us later. And thank you, Carlos, for all that you do. And as Don Peralta's reminding us, trust Los. For the love of God, trust Los. Hey, Tony, state of love and trust. You know what I'm saying? State of love and trust, state of love and trust, Carlos, whatever you want to say. And by the way, I'm a state of love and trust head. That's one of my favorites, Tony. I'm a big, are you? How do you come down on that one?
100%. And whenever they played it live, it's a freaking throwdown. So yes, state of love and trust for life.
State of love and trust is a holding that. By the way, we got another super coming in here. It's from Stinking Badges. Throw them up there to give them some love. I don't think there's a message. Is there? I don't know. This is a weird one. Throw it up there when you can.
I like weird. Love weird. I tell my kids all the time that weird is a comp. When they say, Dad, you're so weird, I'm like, thank you. We don't need no stinking badges. Is that just an exclamation point?
It looks like that's all we're getting. You get an exclam for that one. And thank you. I'll take it. Thank you, Badges. I appreciate it. Exclam right back at you. While we're talking exclamation points, Tony, I was kind of teasing this a little earlier in the show. Quick word on your San Francisco Giants as they get ready to, listen, Logan Webb on the hill tonight. He had a horrible outing at home against the Dodgers last week. So this is a chance for a little redemption for Logan Webb. You know that guy burns to win. Do you think, Tony, when you look at Logan Webb right now at this point in the season, what's going on with him? Is it fatigue? Was it just a bad outing? Is he just tired from all the work all season? Because I know pitchers do wear down in September sometimes. What are you seeing with Logan Webb? What's going on with that dude?
All of the above, Paulie. I really do, because it's towards the end of the year. I think you could say the same about Robbie Ray. I think both of them are tired, and Logan Webb takes pride in giving you at least 200 innings. So he's a workhorse, and he's the workhorse of the staff. His ERA is above 3 now. I think it's 3.38. Still respectable, but he's definitely struggled of late. And dude, he's going up against Yamamoto tonight too, so it doesn't get the road does not get any easier for Webb. But I'm very excited for the opportunity for Logan Webb Day, the opportunity for shout out Bob Marley redemption song, because the Giants. Let's just say the Giants win tonight, and the Mets. The Mets are playing right now. I should go look at the score. They're playing right now.
I'll look into it. You keep talking. Yeah, go ahead.
I see it. They're winning 5-1. So
okay.
Come on, Padres,
okay.
Come on, Padres. What the hell? We need the Padres to beat the Mets. Anyways, if the Mets were to lose today and the Giants were to win, they're a game and a half out. So it's not over. And we all cling to that just because postseason baseball. Could just think back about the magic of those years, man. The 10, 12, 14. It was. I think back about those times now, Paulie, and I'm like, I can't even believe that they happened. Like, and as much as they did. So, and when Paulie and I were talking before the show, it's been 4 years since they were in the playoffs, in 2021. And then before that, 2016 was the playoffs. And dude, remember 2016 when Matt, what was the pitcher?
You talking about Jake Arrieta?
No, it was against the Cubs in the NLDS. And gosh, they lost that game. They lost game 4, I think it was, or game 3.
Yeah.
And then they went back to Wrigley and lost the series. But anyways, that was their last 2 stints in the playoffs. And we can't go on these 5-year stints with no postseason love. So I'm hanging on, but it doesn't look good. Especially like you said before in the show, this series is it. If they get swept or lose 2 or 4 or 3 or 4,
we'll see you next year if they can't hold their ground. And I know it's a lot to ask because the Dodgers are such a freaking juggernaut, but Giants need to go down there and take 3. In my opinion, you got to go down there and win 3 or 4. I know it's a tough assignment, but like Tony said, you know what? You look at it as an opportunity. It's not like some unmanageable obstacle that you can't climb that mountain. Of course they can. They kicked the Dodgers' ass in game 1 with I wouldn't say they kicked their ass, but they beat them with Verlander in game 1 of the series last week. So it's not like they can't do it again. Obviously they can beat the Dodgers. They're going to need to do that, or you pretty much say goodbye to the season. And on that note, Tony, a bigger question: if the Giants if we do the show on Monday and Tuesday and the Giants are basically eliminated at that point, how would you look at this season? Because a couple of months ago, when they lost 15-17 at home, the drums were beating extremely loud to get rid of Bob Melvin. Bob Melvin's lost the team. Bob Melvin's the problem. And you started to, hear that getting louder and louder. Now that's calmed down a great deal. The Giants have been playing pretty well since that horrible stint I just mentioned. So in your eyes, has this year been a success in any way, getting Devers, getting Adames? I mean, you're getting a new look at like what they're trying to do, or are you disappointed? Has it been a failure? Did they not achieve their ultimate goal? Like, how would you look at the season overall?
Oh boy. As far as building blocks for the future, it's great. I like having Eldridge up, by the way, and we're going to get into that in the top 3, but which we can get into next, by the way, Paulie.
Good call. Yes.
But I would like to see. I'm excited to see a full season of Devers and Adames together, and Chapman, the 3 of them together. I was talking to Art, the Cron cameraman, about this 2 days ago. We were talking about the Giants.
And we meet Art, the cameraman. I love the handle too. Art, the cameraman. Art, the Cron cameraman. Yeah.
And by the way, famous Arts. Besides, there's Art Vandelay from Seinfeld.
Bro, Art Vandelay. How about Art Monk, Washington Redskin for many years? Art Monk. Yeah.
I really liked Art Monk. Art Shell from your Oakland Raiders.
I don't know if I have any rock stars named Art. You got Art Garfunkel. Shout out Artie Garfunkel. Hello, darkness, my old friend. By the way, for those of you that have never put this piece of the puzzle together, the original Polymac Particle logo, where I've got like the crazy afro kind of curly hair, and Creative Tony's got the sweater going. That's an old Simon and Garfunkel album cover that Tommy Peralta created for what. I love that picture so much. Anyway, speaking of Art Garfunkel, but aside from that, any other arts in rock and roll? I don't know that there are, man.
I can't think of any, and I can think of like Arthur Ashe, but he didn't go by Art. He wasn't known as Art Ashe.
When I went up to college, Tony, as a freshman up in Boston, Curry College, I moved into my dorm, and my roommate, my freshman year, was a beautiful textbook geek, like right out of Revenge of the Nerds, right? And his name was Art. So I very quickly, and he was from Illinois. I remember that. He's from like Deerfield, Illinois. Good kid, really good kid. But we were like, I mean, dude, I was a lunatic. And I had a, kind of a Revenge of the Nerds guy as a roommate, but we got along really well, wound up hanging out a lot. I introduced him to the world of recreational beer. And I wound up calling him Party Artie. I turned him into Party Artie. So I'll throw him on the great pile of arts. Yeah, dude, thank you. Stevie Groschel, dude, Art Spander. Great sports journalist in the Bay, art legend. I love Spander. I love hanging out with Spander. He's a great guy. And talk about a guy that's seen it all. Yep. Holy smokes, he's seen and done it all. I think he's on a streak where, unless it got snapped recently, Tony, he attended every Super Bowl for like the first 50 years of its existence. Pretty impressive stuff right there.
By the way, August 30th, he turned 87 and still.
Artie, God bless you, man. Yep.
Yeah, dude. Tip of the cap for life. What a career, man. Art Spander still going strong. I was looking about other arts. Probably there are none really.
Nobody says Artie Shaw. Why do I not know that name? Who's Artie Shaw? Artie Shaw. I gotta have to look that up. Noemi, help me out. Who's Artie Shaw? Oh, hold on. Dom said his streak is broken last year. Okay, but still, Winks. Good to see you, brother. Art Carney on the freaking honeymooners. Hey, Ralphie boy. Hey, Ralphie. Dude, great call, Winks. That's why I keep you around, bro, for stuff like that. Art Neville. Here we go. John Joseph. They're coming in, dude. They're coming in now. Yeah, there's a good one for you, T. Yeah.
I love the Neville brothers. I love the New Orleans funk sound. I love Art. Thank you, John Joseph. Great call.
How about Arthur Ashe, tennis legend, Arthur Ashe.
I said that earlier, but I said he doesn't go by Arthur. He goes by, he doesn't go by Art. He goes by Arthur. So he was never called Art Ashe.
Sometimes you like to say it. I won't even process it, and I'll just say it again. I'll just blurt it out again. All right, Tony, that being said, why don't you take that car crash and go right into the triumphant return of Tony's top three. It's been missing.
Tony, top three. Sorry, dude. Tony's top three. Tony's top three.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, sounds good feeding those ducks, man. It's been a while. How are the ducks doing today, T? Whack, whack. How are they? I just threw it out there. Whack, whack. Give me one. Let me hear you. Everybody, totally. Give me another one. Everybody in the community, let's start quacking. Feed them. You got to feed those damn ducks. Tony, that being said, what is on your top three plate today, kid?
Well, I love the Rags came up with the hand gesture. So let's just remind everybody about the hand gesture from Tony's top three. If I can find it, but I can't find it right now. I apologize. There it is.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to try it real quick. So the pinky has to go back, and then the three, and then yeah.
That's kind of, I just still can't do it.
There we go. T3. There you go.
Nice.
Let's go back. T3. Okay. So thank you for that, Don Peralta. Thank you for that, Rags. The T3 hand symbol. I believe that there was somebody spotted at Longbridge given the T3 hand symbol recently. Neil Donardi might have some visual proof of that. We'll have to show it on the show tomorrow. But Paulie, number one on the top three. Tonight is Thursday Night Football, and it starts basically the 5 days of football, right? Thursday Night Football. And then there's going to be some college action tomorrow night, and then college Saturday.
5 days of football, my true love gave to me. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, on the 5th day of football, my true love gave to me. You know what I'm saying? 3 Kansas City losses, 3 Mahomes drops, 1 Travis Kelce interception, blah, 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 blah. We'll bring that back for the holiday season. Sorry, Tony. What are the 5 days of football bestowing upon us? I can't wait.
You don't have a Giants jersey, do you? Like the New York Giants jersey to throw on, or can somebody get?
What are you kidding me, dude? Why would I have a Giants jersey? No, I don't have a Giants jersey. But, hey, Winks, guess what? Me and you, dude, for the first time in history, recorded history, dude, I'm with you this Sunday. Let's go effing Giants. They're getting 6.5. I'm just saying. Russell Wilson throwing bombs. I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if the Giants upset them. I'm throwing it out there with those 6.5 points. I don't know. We got a forecast. We got a hot and sour picks thing coming tomorrow, Tony. Maybe you get that in the mix. What are you thinking?
God, dude, that's crazy. And, you know, they're the home dogs. I love myself a home dog, man. So the Giants are the home dogs by 6.5. I would love to see it, dude. You know, give me a lot of Cam Skattebo. Skattebo, give him the ball. He had 10 rushes for 45 yards last week. They're giving him the rock more. They have Tyrone Tracy there too. Obviously, they have Malik Neighbors, who is just, dude, he's freakish, man. That kid is talented, dude. He's a good player. So
shout out Malik Neighbors. Any relation, Tony, to Jim Neighbors, who played Gomer Pyle? I'm just throwing it out there as an innocent question. Malik Neighbors, Jim Neighbors, any connection? I hope so. I really hope so.
I would hope so too, man. But I don't know. I hope so.
Right, you never know. You can hope. Well, we can keep hope alive. You never know, man.
Right. But tonight it's Dolphins Bills, right? Dolphins Bills on Thursday Night Football tonight. And I'm looking at the spread here real quick. The Bills are hosting the Dolphins. It's up to 11.5. I think it opened at 10.5, and it's gone up a point.
Morning before we came on the air, it was still 10.5. It's gone up another point. Boy, they are banging the drums. They want McDaniel out of there, man. I think he's kind of lost the group, it sounds like, down there. But go ahead, T.
Hold on a second. We have a super here from Beat LA. Beat LA is checking in. She goes, nothing particular to say. Just wanted to get Beat LA up on the screen. But since I'm here, I'll just throw hashtag Plunkotani and hashtag defund the Chiefs as well.
My original reminder note, dude. I look at it every day. Defund the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm glad the movement is starting to pick up steam. Anybody who wants to join, I need a treasurer. I need a publicist. Defund the Kansas City Chiefs. Beat LA, you and me, girl. We're going to do this together. There's a few of us now. I think Escobar joined the Defund the Kansas City Chiefs movement. Tony's involved. I'm the president of this chapter, and we're taking on new members. So anybody who wants to join us, root for the Giants this weekend, I'm your guy. You come to the right place. Yeah.
Beat LA. I love it. Thank you for getting the vibes up there. And yes, Plunkotani, send a message. They didn't do it last weekend.
I would love if Webby just started tonight. You know what? No more effing around. Bam! Right in the ribs, Otani. How's that feel? You know what I mean? Let's get back to some nasty ball, hard ball. Yeah.
Or if Kike Hernandez is in the starting lineup, feel free to plunk him, because that guy, for some reason, I just look at him and it just makes my skin crawl.
You don't need to. I totally feel you, dude. I feel the same. That's how I feel when I look at Mahomes. When I look at him, I have like a visceral reaction. There's probably something wrong with me. I shouldn't be this upset about it. But when I look at Mahomes, I'm like, Jesus Christ, there he is again. I told you the other day, dude, before the season even started, I was looking at like the NFL Network and I saw Mahomes on the practice field just walking, and I got pissed. I'm like, see, there he is. Look at him. Look at him. And so I know what you're saying about Kike Hernandez. I totally relate. I get it. Yeah.
By the way, Steve Groschel in the chat going all the way back to Steve DeBerg and F the Chief movement. So, and it's weird, the relationship between the Chiefs and the Niners over the years with Steve Bono, Steve DeBerg, Joe Montana. And now Elijah Mitchell's and isn't Jalen Moore there as well? They're both there for the Chiefs. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it, especially when they're doing shady stuff like wearing Rashee Rice t-shirts the day of the game, trying to say free Rashee Rice when the guy is suspended for 6 games because he was driving his car 120 miles an hour and hit 6 other cars.
He's endangering a lot of lives like that, man. You're driving 125 freaking miles an hour in a residential area. First of all, what kind of jackass are you, man? If you want to do that, take it out in the highway somewhere where no one's around at 3 a.m. and open it up. But you don't do that in a residential area, and you certainly don't celebrate it. Like, hey, Kelsey, nice choice, dude. Nice choice. Can I tell you something else I heard? I can't tell you how much I love this. And by the way, I'll preface this with a question. Does Taylor Swift break off the – I'm not even kidding about this. I'm dead serious. Does Taylor Swift break off the engagement if the Chiefs don't make the playoffs this year? Legitimate question. Legitimate question. Maybe there are, differences she didn't anticipate. Like, she'll come up with some nonsense for her publicist to post for all the Swifties. But I'm telling you right now, dude, she can't be seen around town with some scrub on her arm. She's got to uphold this, like, perfect image of hers. And I look forward to the whole thing falling to pieces. I really do. I give it 3 years tops, even if they do get married. But what do you think? If the Chiefs go 8-9 or whatever, does she break it off? Legitimate question.
It'll be the truest test of their love and their bond, Paulie. Hopefully their bond and their love for each other is stronger than any wins or losses or any success or lack thereof on the football field, and that none of that matters, Paulie. I have a feeling that both of their marketing people, because they have marketing people, both their marketing people are probably going to have chats with saying, "Hey, Taylor,
they have marketing teams, dude. They have like a staff. Yeah, each of them have their own. Robot Centaur coming up with the question of all time. It's a question many men have asked over the years. And ladies, I'd love your input on this. Robot Centaur asking, if they do break off the engagement, does she keep the ring? And now this has been discussed over the years in a variety. Listen, things happen. Tony, you can speak to this. I don't want to get too deep, but I remember there was a ring thing going on with you for a while. I remember that. Kids, where do we come down on this? If the engagement is broken off, does the lady keep the ring? Is that her right, or should she return it? Or what if you're married? Like, what if you are doing one of these? Like, I remember one time Alex Van Halen, drummer Van Halen, he got married. I'll never forget this when I was like a kid in the 80s. And I was like, wow, one of the guys in Van Halen got married. Dude, they were divorced in like 8 months. Okay. It didn't even make it through a year. So those kind of situations, should the ring be given back to the original purchaser, or is that hers to keep? It's a legitimate question, Centaur, and I'm glad they're all saying keep it. Yeah, all across the board, clean sweep of keep it. So I don't know, Tony, I'll leave that one alone, but you feel me on this? Yeah.
All I can say is I never got a ring back. That's
okay, I didn't want to ask it, but okay, I wasn't sure because I remember there was a thing going on for a while. You're like, hey, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute now. I bought this ring. Yeah.
Beat LA, you're a class act. You are a class act, really, because she says, give it back in all caps, multiple exclams. Yes, give it back. And she's right. Who would want that? I said the same thing. Why do you want it? Like, anyway, so yes.
That's a legitimate question. If it's like a broken up relationship that didn't work, that failed, why? That's a good question. Why would you want to keep that? Good question.
Got me, man. And by the way, as we're trying to get to number one in Tony's top three.
I know, sorry, this is my fault, dude. I'm all over the place. I'm talking Radnich. I'm talking rings. I don't know what's going on today. I'm having a good time, though, if that counts. I'm having fun with this. And we need to do a Dr. Young spot. And Tony has an appointment, so we got to wrap pretty soon today. But go ahead, T. Finish your top three. Sorry, my bad.
I forgot to tell you about my session with Buckethead Mark last night too, by the way. So maybe
we might have to do, Tony, in full can I be transparent with you for a second? I might need to pivot. See what I'm doing? I might need to pivot as I'm being transparent and punt the mailbag to tomorrow. Because I know I want to do, and I'm doing all the corporate speak I can here. I'm punting, I'm pivoting, I'm transparent, I'm doing it all. I want to punt it to tomorrow so we can do Corinne's photos from New Orleans. And I want to get the Buckethead stuff. Let's put that in the mailbag too. I think the audience will really like that.
Yeah. So just my buddy, Mark Hardick, we call him Buckethead Mark because he loves Buckethead. We had a jam last night. So we'll share some of that tomorrow, along with Corinne's photos too from New Orleans. And Noemi and Ray, shout out. Thank you again for sending your photos from New Orleans. Great shots. Favorite city to visit for me in the United States of America is New Orleans, Louisiana. Paulie, number one in top three. We'll get to it really quick. Like we said, Miami at Buffalo. They're 11.5-point underdogs, which, that makes sense. I can see Buffalo just because Miami is down right now. They are down. And ever since the Tua's concussions, he has not been the same. He has just not been the same. I remember you and I talked about this, Paulie, that he should not have come back to football. He had guaranteed money from his contracts. He could have gone into the booth. Handsome dude, a well-spoken dude. He could have gone into the booth and had a really nice career for himself. Anyways, I hope that he's okay for the long haul mentally. But
I have to tell you the truth, Tony. It was really scary to watch him that one time. He got concussed on the field. He got up and tried to walk off, and he collapsed. He fell down. Like, that was scary to see. And I hear you. But you know what it is, dude? It doesn't matter, I think, when you're a pro football player. And I use Steve Young as the all-time greatest example. Late in his career, he got multiple. Same thing happened to Troy Aikman. They got multiple concussions, and once you get concussed, it becomes all that much easier to get another one. It's like a chain reaction. It's very unfortunate. And there's the science of brain injuries is still developing. But see you later, Winks. Thanks for stopping by, bro. Good to see you.
I was just gonna say peace out, Winks. Joy and pain.
Joy and pain. But I'm saying, I think Tua, even though he's a smart kid, he wants to compete. Those guys they'll disregard the risks. They really will. They'll say, like, I only got like a 5-year window where I can do this and I want to take advantage. So I feel you. If he did step away from the game, I would have no problem with that. I would support it, actually, for his own sake. Yeah.
Totally agree with you. But like you said, the competitive fire inside these people, it's hard to put that out.
Yeah.
I just think somebody has to have the presence of mind to get into his head and say, dude, you want to have a life after football. You want to be healthy after football. But anyways, that's his own call. It's his own prerogative. I will say, I want to credit, I think it's Romeo Dobbs for the Packers, who's wearing the protective extra helmet that you see during training camps. He's actually wearing it during games. And I'm like, dude, good for you, man. Good for you. It looks goofy, but it's like, he's like, you know what? I'm taking the extra layer of protection. And I applaud that, man. So, and I hope more players do that, because safety first. It's a crazy game, man. It is a violent, crazy game. I was thinking about that, rewatching the game, the Niner game yesterday. Dominic Pooney got rolled up on, and he's just, he's doing his job. He's finishing a block, and then he just happens to get rolled up on. I'm like, God. And it's like by a 300-pounder, right? And it's like, that could happen at any moment. So I get it. It's a violent game. But Paulie, back to the original question, Miami at Buffalo. Mike McDaniel, they're hiring. Last weekend, they hired a plane to fly a flag over what's the Hard Rock Stadium? Is it still Hard Rock Stadium?
Yeah.
Hard Rock Stadium, basically calling for Mike McDaniel's head. So my question to you is, if the Dolphins lose tonight, there's a good chance that McDaniel gets fired tonight or tomorrow. There's a really good chance. Would you want McDaniel back in the red and gold, back in the Niner coaching tree, Niners coaching staff? Because,
yes, I would. I would take him back 100%. In fact, I think he might be another example of like what we just talked about yesterday. I think it was with Saleh, or 2 days ago, where some of these guys, it's okay. There's no shame in this, but I think some of these guys are going to be better coordinators than head coaches. I mean, to be a head coach, you have to be a variety of things. It's just not about like the plays in your head and offensive execution. It's about like managing personalities, knowing how to talk to this guy, but I can't talk that way to this guy. Like, it's a whole thing. It's like you're a babysitter in a lot of ways. And maybe Mike McDaniel is just not one of those guys. But listen, when he was the OC in San Francisco, we went to a Super Bowl. So, yeah, I would take him back on this. Now, I'm not saying fire anybody to accommodate him, but, yeah, bring him on as like an offensive a consultant or something like that. Yes, I would take him back. And the crazy thing about this story that Tony's talking about with McDaniel is there are strong rumors that if the Dolphins lose tonight, he actually might get fired tomorrow. They might fire him before the weekend. Now, if that happens, here's something that's even crazier than that. I swear to God, I read this on Yahoo Sports this morning. It is now being rumored that if McDaniel gets fired, you know who there is a candidate? This is only a rumor, but I heard one of the rumored candidates to replace him, Bill Belichick.
Dude,
I mean, how crazy is he going to bring that girl with him? By the way, is she going to come on down too and parade around on the sidelines? And are we going to bring that to the NFL now? And do that poster where she's up on his feet doing that thing, Air Jordan or whatever the hell. You got that?
I'm trying to get it, but New York Times just blocked me. So
don't even worry about it. Shout out to New York Times. Don't even worry about it. McDaniel was a smart guy, man. He's a Yale guy. Shout out to the Ivy League brainiacs out there. For me, yes, I'd take him back to answer your original question. How about you? How do you feel about that scenario?
Absolutely. I would take him back in a heartbeat. I really would, because it's just, like you said, some people are meant to be offensive or defensive coordinators, man. I'm all for it. And I like how much of like a goofball or an oddball or whatever you want to call his quirky personality. I dig him. I dig the eyewear. I love how he pulls his pants. He beats to his own drum. He's a
wacko, dude. He's a whack job. He's like so non-NFL with the pants up to his shins, the culottes or whatever the hell he's wearing. He's a trip, that guy. What did I just see from we were talking concussions. I saw that where did he go? Escobar said to Tony that he's sustained 8 concussions. Ooh. 8. And he goes, I know I'm not the same. And that's what happens. See, and the other thing that's so scary about it is a lot of times the symptoms don't rear themselves until years down the road. you hear like a lot of scary stories about guys who have like multiple headshots like that. So be careful, Escobar. Just keep toking that gun. So that's my best advice. I don't know if that's going to work. Escobar, Guardian cap makes guys look like the great Kazoo. Yeah, a little bit. Dude, Escobar, see if you go back this far with me. I know Tony's going to remember this. I'm going to say the first guy ever to wear protective, at the time in the 80s, it was called a bubble. I believe they used to call it a bubble or a shell.
Mm-hmm.
First guy I ever saw do that was Steve Wallace. Big Sexy, number 74.
Yep.
Steve Wallace, remember when he used to put that plate on top and it would get knocked off sometimes and have to put it back on his head? That was like the original model of that, like extra layer of head protection. But Escobar, I feel you. It is kind of a goofy look. But, some of these guys, they need to do that for their own safety. All right, Tony, let's finish your top three so we can do Dr. Young and get you to your appointment, buddy.
Stand by, Paulie, and I'll take the rap on this one. But here, just look at that picture of Steve Wallace. Look at that. You talk about the extra, look at that thing. I mean,
that's old school football. The mud, yeah, that's the shell. That thing look less goofy or more goofy than the thing they wear now?
I think less goofy because the thing they wear now has like little square pads that kind of look like it's extra cushion, which I love, and I love that these things are being made for the safety of the players. That one doesn't look as goofy because it just looks like a bigger shell. This one, if I can find a picture of it, I will. Big
Sexy, dude. Don't forget Steve Wallace, man. He was out there doing some dirty work for a long time. 3 rings, I believe Steve Wallace has 3. Thank you for your service, Steve Wallace.
No question, dude. No question. I can't find. Oh, is there a good one? Anyways, I'll try and find a Romeo Dobbs one before the end of the show. But Paulie, number 2 in the top 3 before we wrap. Okay.
Yep.
There's a good one. Here, stand by. Well, this is just to show people what we're talking about, because if you haven't seen these helmets that they wear them mostly in training camp, but there it is right there. It's got like the pads, the sectioned pads on that goes, and they made them now to where it looks like it's got the stripe and the logo and the color of the actual helmet. So I'm all for it, man. Safety first, man. And I want my son to play high school football, but I say that with like trepidation, because who knows if it's just that one hit, but he really, really, really wants to play. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. He's only in 6th grade. We have.
I went through the same thing. With James, my kid James, and looking back though, I got to say I'm very glad he did play football. I think it was really good for him. I mean that kind of hard work that you have to put in to play football. And at De La Salle, dude, they had him dragging tires around and stuff. I mean, it was insane. The summer workout, I used to pick him up from his summer workouts. He'd have like double sessions. It'd be like 108 degrees, dude. He'd come walking out, dude, like he just jumped out of a swimming pool, just drenched. I'd be like, James, how was practice? I'll never forget this one day. He was a receiver. He was a wide receiver and a cornerback. Yeah. And he just got in the car. He's like, oh, and I'm like, how'd it go today? And he was like, I got blown up on a passing drill. He said he was like coming over the middle, like on a slant, caught the ball, didn't see the guy coming, laid his ass out, but he popped up. And he said the coaches all clapped and stuff. So, but anyway, I think that I would encourage Dom to play. I really would. I think there's a lot of good that they can instill in these kids just from going through that process. I'm not saying he's going to be like a star who gets a scholarship to Ohio State or anything, but you can still walk away with a lot of good, I think, just ethics, work ethic, commitment, what it means to be a part of a team, like how to do your job properly. So anyway, I would encourage it. I would back it. Yeah,
I'll keep you posted on that one, Pete, because it's got to be a group decision. I know my uncle Paul Tonelli, we had on the show last week. He's already talking to Dom about football because Paul coaches football. So,
and I told you when I first met that kid, Dom, your son Dom, like when he's a baby, I was like, I still see it on my head. Number 73 on the offensive line. I don't know why, but that's what I envision. I think he's going to do some grunt work. I think he's going to be blowing dudes off the snap, and I think he's like he's like a guard, maybe. Yeah. Using his speed and stuff like that. I don't know. That's how I see it.
How about this, Paulie? I'm 5'8", $170, right? Those are my dimensions. Dom just went to the doctor. He's 5'3", $112 in 6th grade. I'm like, dude, I don't know where this kid's coming from. So, I mean, there is some size on my dad's side of the family, but obviously I didn't get it. I got the bald, hairy, short genes, which I'll take.
Hey, you look good though, man. It's all right. You look good, bro. It all worked out. Yeah.
Hey, quick number 2 on the top 3, and we'll do a quick number 3, and then we'll wrap today, Paulie.
Let's rock.
Bryce Eldridge on the Niners, on the Giants. Okay. how do you? He's 0 for 6 with 3 Ks so far, but are you for the move? We haven't really talked a lot about Bryce Eldridge since he got called up. Are you for the move? Are you against the move? Are you happy to see him up here? What do you think about the Bryce Eldridge move and moving forward?
I like it. I do. I like it. I know he hasn't really connected yet. He gave one ball a nice ride in Arizona out to the warning track. But you know what, dude? I'm going to make a call right now. I think he's going to do something in this Dodger series. I think that's how he's going to make his name. Like, that's how it's going to start. He's going to do something positive in this Dodger series, and we're all going to sit up and pay attention. I just kind of sense that. Call it particles, call it whatever. I have a feeling he is going to do something significant during this series. So I'm glad he's up. Let him get some at-bats, man. Let him take a look at big league pitching. At the very least, he can go into the offseason knowing what he needs to work on. You know what I mean? If he can't see breaking balls or he's got a problem with big league pitching, like, he'll know what he's got to focus on. So I'm cool with it. How about you?
Totally, man. He's getting a taste of that big league pitching because the jump from AAA to big league pitching is massive, dude. And no disrespect to AAA pitching, but only so few pitchers make it up to the big leagues, right? And those ones that do have the nastiest stuff of the nasty stuff. So I'm all for him seeing those. Dude, he's going to see Yamamoto tonight, right? Like, that's filthy stuff he's going to see tonight.
When you talk nasty, Tony, I can't help but think about shouting out Janet Jackson. You know, nasty boys don't mean a thing. Bam, bam, all you nasty boys. I like in that track when she starts like yelling, "Who's that drinking that nasty food? Nasty boys." You know what I mean? She did like a call and response. "Who's that eating that nasty food? Nasty boys." Anyway, sorry, Tony. Nasty boys. Go ahead.
The name's Janet, but it's Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
100%. And shout out Janet Jackson having the good sense to sample Sly Stone on the Rhythm Nation track. That's all Sly Stone underneath her on that one, and it works real well. Yeah.
I was just going to sing "We Are a Part of the Rhythm Nation." And don't sleep on the song "That's the Way Love Goes" by Janet Jackson. That is a great track. That's the way love goes.
I'll talk Janet. You want to go Janet, bro? I'll talk Janet if that's what you're looking to do. I just don't think we have enough time. We're not going to have enough time, but we can come back to Janet tomorrow. Come on, let's get you. I don't want you to be late to Dr. Young. It's going to be a bad look for us. Yeah.
So, yes, Bryce Eldridge. I love seeing him up here. And, dude, that ball in Arizona, he gave it a ride, man. I think he hit it like 410. And, dude, I forget who the center fielder was. I'm blanking on his name for Arizona. But he made a hell of a catch on that play. And dude, if that ball drops, it's at least a double, if not a triple. And he gave it a ride to the deepest part of the yard. I liked what I see, but he also is going to see big league ballparks. And I saw the stat that would have been a home run in 23 of the 30 ballparks, but the dimensions are bigger in MLB versus AAA. So it's going to be fun to watch him adjust. And I agree, Paulie, he's going to do something this weekend, something in these next 4 games. Something's gonna happen. We have hashtag Free Murph is down at the 4 ball games this weekend, so we got Murph vibes down in the ballpark too. And lastly, Paulie, we had talked about Willie Mack Award for number 3. We were talking about cereal for number 3, or we were talking creamy or chunky peanut butter for number 3 of Tony's top 3. You pick.
Okay, I'm going to go peanut butter. We'll start with peanut butter as a tribute to Patrick Connor, who's the biggest peanut butter enthusiast I've ever met in my life. Pecan used to come in every day and he'd be like, "Guys, you got to put peanut butter on your cereal." He would say he put peanut butter on the side of the bowl, and then he would like take a little piece of peanut butter and then eat the cereal. I never tried that, but he swore by that. And you know what's funny, Tony? I started as a chunky guy, but then I transitioned to creamy. I'm part of the creamy community, if you wanted to call it that. And by the way, speaking of chunky, Escobar is just flying at a high altitude today. He says, "Got Till It's Gone." Oh, nice. "Got Till It's Gone" featuring Q-Tip. Best Janet track ever. Thank you. Escobar, I was just about to shout you out on your other post because he said, "I love me some thick Janet Jackson."
Yes, dude.
Before she got all skinny, that makes 2 of us, dude. Give me the thick Janet Jackson any day. I got news for the ladies out there. Most men don't like a skeletal skin and bones kind of frame on the. Listen, I'm not. You guys do whatever you want to do. Be skinny, be heavy, whatever. It's up to you. But I did like a thick Janet more than the skinny Janet. Me and you, Escobar. You feel me on that, T?
100%. And is it Friday or is it? I'm trying to remember what movie where the girl's like, people say I'm thick. like Janet Jackson. I can't remember what.
Yeah,
I think
totally,
Friday.
dude. That's 100% the first Friday when Chris Tucker is like trying to hook up. Or no, I think it was Ice Cube trying to hook up Chris Tucker with that chick, and she was like, "Yeah, he's on the phone." A lot of people think I look like a thick Janet Jackson. 100%, dude. Great call. Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's Friday. I know you don't have no job. You ain't got us to do. Yeah.
Man, okay. And also, Paulie, I love peanut butter. Dude, have you ever tried dunking your carrot in peanut butter?
No, but it sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
You got celery, carrots, anything. Dude, I'll put it on a freaking cucumber if you want me to. Peanut butter can go across the board, man.
Totally. Peanut butter apples. I give my kids peanut butter on apples all the time. And dude, I'm a chunky guy, dude. I'm a chunky peanut butter guy. I love the chunky peanut butter. Let's go.
Joy P, by the way, sorry, Tony, this is getting crazy now because we're talking thickness, we're talking thin. Joy P, there you go. That's what I'm saying. She goes, my husband likes him skinny. I'm only 95 pounds. You must be a waif. I love that, Joy P. Thank you for chiming in. But there you go. To each his own. Thick, thin, whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. We're all going to make it through this.
Ooh, shout out Black Crow's song, Thick and Thin. That's a good song. I love people are giving their dimensions on the chat now.
I know. Well, I'm 6'. Look at this, Miguel. I'm 6'2", 300. Okay, 3 bills, Miguel. Nice, dude. Nice.
Dude, Escobar, I'm 6 feet and 274.
By the way, Rags is out here quoting, I'll never forget this. What was her name? Dr. Ruth. Remember the sex doctor, Dr. Ruth? She used to say that everybody is the same size in bed. And nice. Tony, Rags is kind of reinforcing that. He goes, we're all the same height lying down and tossing it. You're kind of right. You know what I mean, Rags? You're kind of right. You and Dr. Ruth. All right, Tony.
Hold on.
You're going to be late, dude. Yeah.
That's fine. No, I just wanted to say to the Nutter, I saw he mentioned Uncrustables. And dude, those are a smashing success in this house here in San Carlos. Paulie, seriously, I don't know why I didn't think about doing this. Somebody just made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, cut off the crust, and then decided, hey, let's sell it without the crust. And so they're Uncrustables. Have you had an Uncrustable, Paulie?
I've not.
Dude, it's basically a PBJ without the crust. And I forget if it's Smuckers or one of those companies that makes it, but my kids freak out for those, dude. So I'm like, yes, the Uncrustables rock too. So shout out Nutter. Thank you for the Uncrustables and peanut butter pretzels, Stevie B. Peanut butter pretzels. I could eat a whole bag. I could eat a whole bag in one sitting. Yeah. Anyways, trouble. So, Paulie, that's top 3 for today.
Okay. So I want to do Dr. Young, but before I do that, I want to say that just to forecast ahead, we will be back tomorrow, obviously, for our high noon show, and we will give you our hot and sour picks week 3. And so far, so good this season. It's going to be a big weekend. We're starting to get a feel for what the NFL is going to be. So I think we'll start to find our stride. But also the music assignment, Tony, let me lay it out there so everybody can start working on theirs. I thought since the 49ers wearing white at home has become such a big talk. Dude, we were talking to David Lombardi about this, about the jerseys they're going to wear. Not like game plans, not wide receivers, but about the fact that they're going to wear white. So the fact that we've spent more time this week talking about color choices, I thought, how about songs this week that have color in the title or a lyric about color? I'll give you an example of what we're talking about. Could be the name of the song. Could be just a lyric in the song that mentions a color. Tony, from your bag of tricks could be Smashing Pumpkins' Silver F. You know what I'm saying? Silver F. I can't say it on the air. Thank you, Kron. But Silver F. Anything with color is the way we're going to go tomorrow. So dazzle us with your choices. Thank you, Scarlet Fire. Thank you.
So since they're wearing the white jerseys, could I go white lines, pure as the driven snow?
You can, but I got a better question. Can I go White Lion? You see? Can I go, wait, I never had a chance without you. I can't even believe I know that, but yeah, White Lion. Judges will accept White Lion. Yes.
And also, can we just give love to our song that we did for Spates on the dubs? Spates.
yeah.
Dude.
Yes. Yeah.
I loved Spates as a warrior.
Spatesy, bro. Spatesy hitting that mid-range, dude. I love it. Dude, the bench they had those first couple of years with Livingston and freaking Iguodala, Spates. I mean, that team was loaded for bear, man. Yeah.
Timeout. Follower 795. First time seeing you on the chat. Welcome to the show. And he says he or she, perfect example of what we're talking about for the musical assignment, Colors by Ice-T. That's a perfect example of what we're talking about.
I am a nightmare walking, psychopath talking, king of my jungle, just a gangster stalking. I love that tune, Colors, dude. Yeah.
I want to do a little bit of housekeeping, Paulie. I just want to thank SF Standards, David Lombardi, for coming on with us last night. Because, dude, he just got off a plane from New Orleans yesterday. He went to practice all day, and he still took the time to join us last night for a good, 40-minute chunk. And he was dropping science about the 49ers of this year. And he brought up things that I was like, he brought up Malik Mustafa, and I'm like, dude, I completely forgot about Mustafa. Anyways, if you want to check out the interview, it's on our YouTube channel at Polymax Particles. Check it out, or it's on the audio version is on Apple Podcasts or TuneIn or Spotify. Thank you very much, David, for joining us. We'd love to have him on again soon, but I really enjoyed the conversation. But I just wanted to say a little housekeeping there, Paulie.
Sure. You got it, Tony. You got it. So let's talk to Dr. Matt Young, and then we're going to wrap, and we'll send everybody into their lunch break. So Dr. Matt Young, one of our great sponsors, good friend of mine for 14 years, I believe it is now. And that's great because Matt Young has been in the business for 25 freaking years. He's down there in Union Square, 490 Post Street. He has been my dentist for 14 years, as I mentioned, and he offers all of the dental care that you can imagine, regardless of what you need. Maybe, pardon me, maybe you're just like, you know what? I'm not crazy about my dentist. I want to make a switch. I guarantee you, if you do that, you will be thanking me because Tony has seen the light with Dr. Matt Young. He's a great at what he does, but his bedside manner, as they say in the medical game, is top notch. I mean, if he can relax me, dude, I'm like the most neurotic, uptight dude of all time about sitting in a dentist chair, and I don't feel that way anymore. And that is directly thanks to him. So thank you, Dr. Matt Young, for cooling me out. And I'm not saying this is a joke. I'm really not. But if you are going into Dr. Matt Young for a procedure, you're nervous, you're uptight, you want to be comfortable, he will give you some gas. And I ask for it sometimes, Tony. I'm like, well, you better bring in the tank. Let me get the mask on just so I can calm down. And he will. And he'll and it really does help. Like I've asked for that a few times. He will provide that if that's your preference. And then there's just the comprehensive dental care across the board that he offers. Cleanings, fillings. He specializes in implant procedures, which I have had done with him. Emergency care. If you have some kind of tooth infection, you need to rush in and see him. He can accommodate that. They have office hours on the weekends for busy parents like Tony. And then there's just the staff that he's got working for him. They're all great people. They're all very, very helpful. And you will, as Mike Damone said, you know what I mean? Go see Dr. Matt Young. You won't regret it. And Tony, I'm going to let you kind of finish this because I know you are literally going to end the show and drive up to see him. So take it away, Big T, and give Dr. Young my best. Tell him I'll miss him. I want to see him soon.
100%. And I'm also taking the train up there because his office is in Union Square, and it's a nice 10-minute walk from the train station. If you want to just take the train up if you're on the peninsula and walk up to Union Square, he's right on 490 Post Street. Killer old building. And you said bedside manner, but I would like to change that to recliner side manner.
Totally.
Yeah. The chairs you're in, there's like a decked out recliner, and you're chilling in that. And then he comes in with his chill vibe, man. It's just soothing. And you need to have that as a dentist. And he's got it, man. And then he's also got, I've talked about how just when somebody's going into your mouth, it's a little, I don't know, unnerving.
It's very personal too. The guy's got his hands in my mouth. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
but he's just very gentle. I don't know how to put it, man.
No, it's true. There's nothing wrong with that. He's got a very gentle touch, man. And you want that. You don't want a guy in there with a freaking, hammer and nail. You want the gentle touch, and he's definitely got that.
Totally. And so today I'm going in for a cleaning. I'm going in to get a little cavity fixed, or I don't exactly know what he's going to do, but he saw it on an x-ray and he goes, this isn't an emergency or anything, but let's just clear it up now before it gets any worse. And then checking out the whitening project that I'm involved in, Paulie, the whitening, teeth whitening, which I said my mother noticed this over the weekend. My teeth are whiter. My daughter, she's like,
see, flash them real quick. Yeah, dude, they do look whiter. I can see it too. For sure. Yeah, I'm not surprised, dude. He does a great job. They do look a lot better, T. They do. Looks good.
I was talking to Dan Ogden, Tom Tolbert's producer, because he said he's going to the dentist today too. And I texted him. I said, hey, dude, just FYI, if you're looking for a different dentist, if you're not happy or whatever, let us know and we'll set you up with Dr. Young, because we want people to know about the Young Dental Group and the type of service you'll get, the type of care you'll get, and the type of people that you'll be dealing with that are just really sincere and really, again, I'm looking forward to going to the dentist today.
Yeah.
Before I met Dr. Young, that wasn't the case. It really wasn't the case.
I hear you, bro. Me too, man. Yeah.
And again, they are, I can't stress this enough too. They're open 6 days a week, and they're open for 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. as you see on the graphic, and until 4 p.m. on Saturdays. So 415-392-8611, 415-392-8611, or you can email them info@youngdentalsf.com, and I'll report back on my experience today, and I look forward to it.
Thank you so much, Tony. And thank you, Dr. Matt Young. We love you, man. And I look forward to seeing you. It's been too long. Want to thank everybody for lining up today and hanging out. Good luck up there at Dr. Young. You're going to come back to the show even more handsome tomorrow with your blinding white teeth. Thank you, Cron 4 Plus. We freaking love the Cron 4 family from Steve on down. You know what I'm saying? From Cron 4 Steve on down. We love all those guys. Also want to thank Follower 795. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Don Peralta, Nutter, Miguel, and Rags, and Winks, and Noemi, and Corinne. I don't like to leave anybody out, but I can only tell you what's in front of me at any given time. All right, tomorrow we have our hot and sour picks. We have our high noon broadcast. We will set up the weekend. We'll talk Niner football. We will also review the Thursday night game. Will Mike McDaniel have a job tomorrow? We're going to find out. What's up, Monica Lopez? Thanks for stopping by. Escobar, Los D, love to all of y'all. Show would not be happening without you guys, and I cannot thank you enough for your support. We do have new things in the works for you guys as well. Hold on, follower 95, 795. I'm the guy in the Keen attorney jersey, Paulie. Hell yeah, you are. Hell yeah, you are. That's why you and I are going to get along great. Anybody who rolls with Keena Turner, by the way, I'll say it for you already know this follower, but Keena Turner, one of the few who can say, I have 4 Super Bowl rings. Count them up, Holmes. 81, 84, 88, 89. Bam! A foursome from Keena Turner out of Purdue. Come on.
He's a Boilermaker. And Paulie, I have a white Keena Turner jersey. I'm not a big jersey guy or wearer, but I think I'm
tomorrow. Please wear it tomorrow. Pretty please.
I will. I'll get my white going tomorrow, my Niner white going tomorrow. And Paulie, before I get Diamond Dave going, stand by 1 sec.
So say good night to the bad guy.
And
Pelican fly. Come on, Pelican.
There we go, buddy. And
Oh, good for you.
sorry. And then one more Pelicans.
Pelican fly. Come on, Pelican.
And Diamond David Lee Roth.
Class dismissed.
Dude, just crossing and fading like a gangster will. All right, Tony, great work today, dude. Had a lot of fun. Matt Stenson, good to see you. Noemi, cheers. Karen Bell, come on, Karen Bell. And Joy P. Joy and P. Thank you for stopping by, everybody. We love all of y'all, and we're going to do it again tomorrow at high noon. Say hello to Dr. Young, defund the Kansas City Chiefs, and I will see everybody tomorrow at high noon. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. High noon, y'all. Tomorrow. Peace.